Hey people, got a message on Fed, which if you want to contact me on Fed, I'm Master Hook YT or Master Hook. I have two Fed accounts, one specifically for my YouTube stuff, one's more my personal thing, but you can contact me either way. From a gentleman who is 19 and does not want me to give any more info than that, even though I'm kind of looking up his profile, pretty much nothing on it. Um, he wanted to. He asked a question that I think is something I don't think I've dealt with before here. I don't know if I have. Oh well, I'm doing it again because I think this is an important topic, and that is the concept of feeling guilty because of parental societal pressures about wanting to do things in the BDSM lifestyle. Specifically, even though he didn't get into the specifics of it, I'm guessing being a dominant to a dominant male to a female submissive. Um, Here's the thing: you have to keep in mind at all times, whoever you would play with wants it. They chose it. This is what they want. And if you want to be dominant, you chose to do that. That is something that fulfills a need in you. Most people who do this don't do it because the concept of being raised in the lifestyle, I think, is pretty much BS. Is it possible? Yes. Are there people who have? Yes. But the vast majority of us found it in our later lives. Um, we didn't find it when we were 5 or 6. We found it when we were teenagers or older. Um, and the thing you have, like I said, you have to keep in mind is the person you would be doing this with wants you to do it. Because you see this thing right behind me? It's called a door. And if they don't want to do it, they can get up, get dressed, walk out that door. And if they refuse, if they continue to stay there and do whatever it is you're doing, they want to. Now, if you try to stop them from going out that door, you're breaking a law. Okay? You're probably going to get arrested and put in jail for a long period of time for false imprisonment, rape, assault. The list of things that could potentially be there are a mile long. But when it comes specifically to doing things inside the lifestyle, you and the person you are playing with both chose to do it. And if you didn't want to do it, you don't have to. You're an adult. I know this seems to be a theme going with several of my recent videos, but you're an adult. I'm an adult. Any person I play with is an adult. Any person you would play with is an adult. Keep that in mind. They are making their own choices, free, open choices to do this. And if they decide they don't want to do it, they just stop. Just don't do it anymore. I don't know how more complicated it has to be. And I understand society sees me as the bad guy. Okay, especially modern feminism sees me as the bad guy. Because I am a male who chooses to have females submit to me. And somehow wanting that is somehow bad. I don't see, and it might be the blinders that I have on because of living the lifestyle as long as I have. I don't see how that's bad. If I was just an average normal schlub who just, went around and did what normal guys do, the women who wanted to do the things in the submissive side would not have somebody to do it with. That's really, to me, what the issue is. They want to do it. They want to have somebody do these things to them. They want to serve you. They want to please you. And in return, they get pleasure themselves. Keep in mind, when the play styles we do is called pleasure and pain. Okay? I will never play with somebody who doesn't enjoy it. If I take the floggers that I have on the wall right now, or covered up by my coat and my robe, or any of those other toys over there, and hit somebody with them, they want me to. If I take that sword on the wall and I decide to use it as part of knife play, they want me to. If they didn't, they have full right to use their safe words and walk away. Feeling guilty is a normal part of being a human being. But you shouldn't have to feel guilty about this. You shouldn't have to feel guilty about doing something that makes you happy. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Society wants to tell us a lot of things are wrong and bad. There's a lot of things that I like to do that society says are wrong and bad. There's a lot of things that you might do in every part of your life that society says are wrong and bad. Now, the ones that are, the right, try to eat healthy, try to get some exercise, try to, don't be jerks to people, don't do anything that's gonna break the law to an extent, especially when those things hurt other people. There's certain laws in the books that I think that are absolutely ridiculous, especially when it comes to certain forms of intoxication. But that's my opinion. If I choose to break those laws, I'm making a choice. But at the end of the day, everything we do is about choices. And the person you're playing with chose to play with you. If you can't understand that and you can't get that into your head, why are you doing this? Go find some normal girl and pretend that you don't want to spank her ass. Pretend that you don't want to do the things that you want to do. Because the reality is you want to. But you've let society get into your head and say you shouldn't do this. Smacking a woman is bad. Yes, in most context. In some context, it's good. A woman smacking a man, in 99% of all context, is bad. But there are certain contexts where it's good. And that's what you have to keep in mind. You are doing things that society says are bad and wrong, and that's part of the fun of this, is we get to play with what society, Nazi play is a prime example of that. Society thinks Nazis are bad and horrible, but there's a whole group of people who love doing Nazi play. There's a whole group of people that love doing, that love doing slave era slave play. Okay? Society says these are bad and wrong and evil and blah, 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 blah. I don't care what society has to say about my life. I live my life. Society's not living my life. Society doesn't pay my bills. Society doesn't get me up in the morning. Society does not put me to bed at night. Society does not do any of these things. What society does, and what society does best, is try to make you fall in line and do what they think that they think should be done. And for a lot of it, they're right. But when it comes to what you do behind that closed door, in that bed, they have no right to tell you what to do. You got to keep in mind, up until very recently, if you were gay, society thought you were, that you were, bad and evil, and you were molesting children, and you were doing, all of these horrible things, and you could lose your job. In certain states, you still can, but get kicked out of your place of living. You could get, up to uh, just within, I think, uh, within the last 100 years, even less than that. I'll probably back in the 40s and 50s. There was places in the world where you could get chemically castrated for being gay. There's places in the world today where you could be killed by the state for simply being gay. This is what society says. But yet, people are still gay. We have been doing this, being who we are, being kinky, being dominant, being submissive, everything, since the dawn of time. The thing is, now we actually can put it into words and put actual titles and names and have definitions of what things are and should be. And whether sometimes those definitions are very broad or very specific, we know that when we do them, we're okay. Because even though I might enjoy doing certain things that society thinks is bad and horrible, I don't care what society thinks. All I care about is it taking care of me? Am I happy? Is the person I'm playing with happy? Is the person I'm with enjoying it? Because if not, then I'm not going to do it with them. And that's really what it comes down to. Finding that inner peace with the fact that you like doing things that society says are wrong and bad and so on and so on. So, but, that's kind of it. Take it as it is. Any more questions, you can get a hold of me. Take it from there. Be well and safe.